Hello, beautiful people. Shakiba here. Thank you guys for tuning in for today's reading. I'm actually going to start off with Cancer, seeing as we're in Cancer season. So go, y'all. I know I haven't been present for a while, everyone. Not going to make any excuses. Generally speaking, May is actually usually a cycle for me where I go through spiritual awakening. So I also needed June to come down from my spiritual awakening that I've gone through as of this year. My midhaven is in Gemini season, so that's usually when I hit my peak around about coming up to Gemini season. So thankfully we are past that. We are now in Cancer season and I can get myself back into the groove for you guys. So this week, what I'm going to be doing, seeing as I'm going to be starting everything a little bit differently, BTW, if you are new to my channel, I'm going to be going through a new process anyway. So if this resonates with you, then sit with it, sit in it, and hopefully you can learn something from the experience. If it doesn't, let it dissipate, okay? Just don't really sort of take any of it on. What we're going to do, I'm going to set this space and then we're going to go into a basic spread for the romance and love for this week for my Cancerians. So we've literally had the Mercury retrograde kick off this explosive eclipse energy as of the 7th of July. So I guess this is like the final week between the 8th to the 15th before the actual lunar eclipse that we've got for the next full moon on the 16th. And I really just wanted to take an opportunity, as much as I've been going through my own stuff, guys. I really wanted to just stop and take an opportunity to, really sort of check in with you guys and give you guys any insights that I can to assist you guys along the journey as well. And yeah, no better time than Mercury retrograde, because the shit gets real when Mercury has some shit to step back and look at. Okay, so we're gonna have a look to see what's to come for everyone. I'm just gonna set the space and then we can go straight into everything, guys. I do have the tarot cards out for you guys. I've got some angel cards as far as oracle guidance as well, and I do also have some romance cards. So we'll go ahead and get the spread together. We'll just get the candle lit. I ask that only beings of the purest and highest of vibration are present to provide me with the insight, clarity, and guidance needed so that I may be able to relay and convey the divine guidance and messages for all those that are uniquely guided to this reading. And I ask that I'm used and utilized as a mediumship vessel to be able to relay and convey such guidance to all the divine beings. It is so done. Ashe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. Let's get straight into it. Obviously, this will be general readings for you guys. I'm not sure if I'm offering any personal readings just yet, so we will have to wait and see, because obviously we've got the Mercury retrograde period. I'm actually doing readings on Psychic Sofa at the minute, so if any of you guys do want to get hold of me as far as readings, you can sort of get hold of me that way. I want to say my pin is 4837. Don't quote me on that. I haven't been online for a matter of moments as well. So if anything, I'll put it in the description box below. But let's get straight into it, guys. Okay. What is the divine guidance for my Cancerians for the week of the 9th of July to the 15th? Okay, you guys are going to be utilizing this time to sort of activate your inner magician, utilizing your, I guess, self-mastery to be able to persevere against the challenges. And it's interesting because obviously the last new moon that we had, it was all about the solar eclipse sort of energy. And I'm sure that there has been some setbacks, which is what I'm seeing. There's been some setbacks due to poor planning for some of us Cancerians. I'm not a Cancer, but I'm kind of like in the space with you guys, so for now I am technically, and I can see that some of those setbacks are really for the purpose of having you avoid further conflicts moving forward, so that you can actually own all of your true power with the choices that you're going to be making moving forward. So let's have a little look for the love situation. What is the divine guidance for my fellow Cancerians? Okay, so let's have a little look. This was the final one. Okay, so what I can see for you guys is that you're going to be going through a process of generating a spiritual recovery in terms of the relationship. So the past for you guys, I do have the 7 of Wands in reverse. So this is letting me know that you've been very much overworked, overwhelmed, and it's been a lot of work for you guys, sort of laying down the grounding work of the foundations. You've done a lot in the past to get to where you are. There was a lot of action that you had to do. It wasn't so much about, which is interesting because you guys are all about emotions, right? But it seems as though you had to put the emotional stuff to the wayside and actually process it as you went along, trying to build the foundations of what you were trying to lay out. Because now what I see for you guys in the present trajectory is the Queen of Pentacles. So you guys are very much grounded, you're down to earth, you're very practical about the way that you're sort of dealing with situations as far as your romance. And it's really quite interesting as well, because now you're at the place where you're very attentive to how you're manifesting. You're very much taking the opportunity to look at every single aspect of how things are actually coming into manifestation. You're really trying to make sure that you're doing it from a place of you know, that grounded perspective within yourself. You're not just being erratic, basically. I think that's what you learn from being overwhelmed in the past emotionally and having to try and I guess maintain your romantic relationships throughout that process. It's actually brought you to a place where you're a lot more grounded and you're a lot more practical in terms of the way that you're doing things. And what I do see for you is that you're no longer going forward. You're actually going to be, I'm going to say this much, for the week of the 9th to the 15th, there's going to be a lot that's going to come crashing down for you guys, because in the advice as far as the future trajectory of the situation, because your current situation is you being the Queen of Pentacles, you being a little bit more practical, down to earth, making sure that you've got a good balance in your romantic life as well as your personal. And when I say personal, I'm talking about yourself, like relationship with yourself, as well as your work circumstances as well. Now going forward, things are going to be a little bit more, there's going to be sudden changes. It's almost like there's going to be upheavals, because the things that you were working towards uprooting in the past, you're more practical about them, and those are the things that are going to be falling away. So I want to say that there's at least 2 or 3 people that are going to be falling away, that may have been impacting your romantic circumstances. So if you guys were dealing with third party situations, any Cancerians out there, this is going to be, and third party doesn't necessarily mean affairs or romantic interest. It can also mean friends and family that are always giving their 2 pence when it's not asked for, it's not required, and it's not requested, but they somehow like to hear their own voice, so they give it to you anyways. What you're now doing is you're removing those people from your relationship, because you guys are becoming a lot more practical, a lot more grounded in terms of how you are choosing to navigate with your person. And it does seem as though as well, you're no longer looking at the situation like, oh my God. You're no longer looking at what the situation isn't doing for you or the negatives of the situation. You're actually now looking at it from more of the positives. And I think that's why these people are no longer needed or required as far as giving advice with the situation, because you and your partner, for those of you that are with someone, are a lot more steady and together. And for those of you that are single, you're now at that place where you're actually just wanting to make sure that you're cutting out anyone that is really not giving you an opportunity to make a decision for yourself in terms of what you want for your romantic relationships. Okay, you're not really playing about with those people anymore. You're actually taking an opportunity to take the how can I put it, initiative to go after the things that you want rather than trying to please other people in the process. So this is all going to be very, very interesting for you guys. I'm going to pull one card for my singles and one card for my couples and one card for my in-betweeners. You're not really in a relationship, you're not necessarily single, you're somewhat in a situationship that just isn't really getting itself all the way together. Even as I said that, I could feel it in my throat chakra. There's a lot that you guys are still holding on to, that you guys aren't able to express, that you guys aren't able to say at the minute, because again, we're in the Mercury retrograde season, so there's probably been a lot of miscommunication from what I can see with the situation, because it's actually left you guys, for those of you in the situationship, it's actually left you guys from the past being a little bit overly protective. You're not necessarily sort of wanting to put your guards down entirely. You're actually just making sure that the work that you put in the past, you're not necessarily trying to give as much of yourself to the situation anymore. To be fair, you're a little bit more guarded. So let's just have a little look and see what is to come. What is the divine guidance for my Cancerian spirit for the week of the 15th to the the 9th to the 15th? Give your relationship a chance. Okay, this is all about trust for those of you that are in a relationship. So what is the divine guidance for my Cancerians in a relationship for the week of the 9th to the 15th? Okay, that is the guidance for you guys. Give your relationship a chance. I already put that out there. So, you know, give your person a chance to actually sort of win you back over. I know you guys have been through a lot in the past, but maybe it's a time for you guys to both retreat and give yourselves an opportunity to really reconnect, to really sort of reattract each other. You know, sometimes it's difficult when you're sort of in a relationship with someone, especially long term. You kind of go through a process where after a while it feels like the novelty has worn off, if you will. So it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to retreat, take some time to yourself, and really sort of reevaluate the relationship and work actively on your partnership. Okay, what is my divine guidance for those that are single, my Cancerians? Okay, for you guys. Okay, trust the situation. Trust that you being single right now is exactly where you need to be, because you're working on yourself. You're making sure that you are complete within yourself. You're making sure that you are whole within yourself before you're sort of, you know, allowing for someone new to come into the space. And I think that it has to sort of be this way, to be fair, because you yourself also needs to be able to focus on your career, because that's one of the things that is probably going to be a main issue for you actually even maintaining a relationship right now. Right now, you're not in a position where you're financially stable enough to even be emotionally available for a relationship, because you're a little bit all over the place, where you're worried about your finances, you're overworking yourself at times, which is probably why you singles have been overwhelmed in the past. But I can see that there is going to be a change to come with the situation. Be open to the process. Trust that what you're doing is going to allow for you to attract the right person coming into your space. Somebody that isn't necessarily going to take you for granted, that is going to be able to appreciate your circumstances, that isn't going to be too pushy, and is going to understand that, hey, maybe I probably have like one day of the week that I can make available for you, because the rest of the time I'm really just trying to get my shit together, and it's not personal on you. It's just personally, this is where I am right now, trying to work on myself. Okay. What is the divine guidance for my Cancerians in a situationship? What do they need to know for the week of the 7th to the 15th of July, Spirit? Okay. It couldn't get any much clearer than that now, could it, guys? Right, so the divine guidance for you guys, situationship, my fellows. Okay, so what's happening for you in a situationship is that you're getting new love with that situationship, right? And it's interesting because I told you that the tower is going to come crashing down, you know, so there is essentially going to be a lot going on for you guys. I see sevens going on all around here. So this, in essence, like I said, is going to be about spiritual rejuvenation and spiritual recovery for you guys. Your spirits have become depleted over, I want to say, the last couple of months, because it's been a real trying time since the retrogrades really sort of kicked off in April. And I mean the significant retrogrades. I'm talking about Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, all of that shit messing with our shit, okay? But for you, my lovelies, in your situationship, it's really talking about the fact that, you know, the situationship, it's, you guys are going to have to sort of really decide to break out of old habits and break out of old patterns, and this is going to be the energy this week to really assist you guys in doing so. It's talking about a new person as far as this new love, but I feel like it's more the person that you're with. You guys are going to be shifting vibrations together, and this person's actually going to surprise you in ways that you would have not expected, to be fair. What you need to be doing is expressing your love to each other rather than continuing to put a guard up, and allowing for yourselves to be able to be open to the process with this person as you're sort of, you know, navigating through this week. I do feel like they have stirred up a lot of emotional baggage for you. I feel like you may find yourself being triggered. I want to put this out there, seeing as we're in the Mercury retrograde period. There's things that they will do presently as you guys are trying to work through the difficulties of the situation. Shit. It's more a case of, there's things that they'll be doing that's going to remind you of some of the stuff that you've dealt with them in the past, and you're just going to want to close yourself off to it. Don't do that, because that's not helping the situation much. That's also a pattern that you have developed. So rather than do what you've always done to get the same result that you're currently getting, maybe have an opportunity, like take it as an opportunity to express yourself, vocalize what you're feeling rather than shutting down and suppressing your feelings and hoping for the best. It doesn't quite work like that. You actually have to be proactive at making the changes come to light. Okay, we're going to finish up now, guys, with a final sort of guidance from the Oracle deck and see what is the divine guidance for you guys for the week of the 9th to the 15th of July. What is the divine guidance for my Cancerians for the 9th to the 15th? So for you guys, just understand that success is inevitable for you guys. You know, it may not necessarily seem or appear to be that way for you right now in the present moment, but things are unfolding for you within the next 2 to 2.5 weeks. Okay, so what you do throughout this week is going to impact you until the next new moon, because what you're doing leading up to this full moon eclipse energy is also going to sort of overflow into the new moon as it comes into manifestation for you. Okay, where you're setting your new intentions. So just be mindful. What is the divine guidance for my Cancerians? Okay. Communicate clearly, guys. Couldn't have said it better myself. That's literally been the final message for my guys in the situationship. Communicate clearly. Be effective at, you know, really sort of, and this is an opportunity for you to do exactly that. It's an opportunity for you to just trust the process, let things unravel, and communicate from your heart chakra. There's a lot of green, if you can have a look, see, there's a lot of green and yellow in the card. So if you're able to communicate from your heart chakra, it will also help in terms of manifesting from the place that you truly desire rather than manifesting against your best intention. Okay, so speak from your heart. Try not to overthink things too much. Try not to be too emotional as well. Just make sure that your heart and mind are in unison as you speak through your throat chakra, and allow for spirit to use you as a vessel. You know, allow for it to come from that place of your authenticity rather than speaking in your feelings. Speak from your feelings so that you can help this other person around you realize what you're going to need from them moving forward. Okay, for some of you, I can see that you're dealing with a fire sign. For some of you, I can see that you're dealing with an earth sign, and if it's neither for those of you guys, because energy is just energy at the end of the day, just know that things are really sort of going through a turnaround. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there for you guys. Do be sure to comment, like, share, definitely subscribe, so that I can really sort of continue to be motivated to get these videos out for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys for the next one as of next week. Okay, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm sending you guys nothing but love, light, and positive intentions. Until next time, beloveds. Ashe.